Welcome again to Sad Fernando Guitars. It's the Christmas message. I'm sure for all of you, I'm sitting here obviously in Windsor Palace as I normally do for Christmas. It has been an annus horribilis. Who would have thought that this year would be like this? Well, you know, apart from Tory cabinet ministers who made billions on it, but there we go. A little bit of politics there. It's been an interesting year. So I thought I'd do a little bit of a reminisce and a look back over the things that have gone on and what I've managed to do. First of all, I've managed obviously to make some bloody YouTube videos, which is amazing. I've managed to get a little section of my house set up for making videos and all redone, as you can see here. Started off the year with this, which was an old project that I finally managed to finish. A lovely heavy ash body. It seems heavy in retrospect nowadays. It's the Strat with the Seymour Duncan sort of Dan Electro lipstick pickups. Lovely sound, if I turn the amp on. Let's give it a little bit of reverb. Let's see what the distortion's like. What fun. So the fun things that with this were that I wanted to try and get a shabby chic type French white finish to it. It sort of worked, but you know, like with any job, there's a lot of lessons to be learnt. White is a difficult colour to get onto a guitar when you want to get the grain coming through it, and that was no exception. Lessons learnt, things to be learnt for a future project. Don't get the cheapest bridge. It looks nice, but there's a few issues with it. Don't drill too far through on your ferrules. And all the normal problems of a store-bought neck. Yes, I did crown finish and round all of these myself, which makes it a much nicer playing neck, but still not as good as other things. So let's put that on standby for the moment. So that was that one. Obviously I've made a lot of videos of Gavin's grotty guitars, which you can see in playlists. There's many more uploaded, so here we are at the end of December. I've got the end of March is already up and running. That's every Friday at 5 o'clock. And there's another room full of guitars to go yet, so there's no shortage of those damn things. The next thing I started playing with is resurrecting guitars. Now what you haven't seen here is this. This is a 50-year-old 1970 Shaftesbury thin line Telecaster copy. So 1970. It is rather beautifully made in the Italian Eco factory. Lovely 3-piece neck. It's got an enormous amount of body checking on it, and bizarrely, it sounds good. Oh, let's turn that off. All original. I love this guitar. So unfortunately, it's being sold. If you're after this by any means, get in touch. It is being sold for charity for South Bucks Hospice. They asked me to do it up for them, and I said, of course, it's something you can do. There will be a video on that in the near future on Gavin's grotty guitars, but I don't think it's that grotty now, but that's the joy of resurrecting. I've made a few kit guitars. So this was from parts purchased. I decided to go through my parts bin in the garage and made this up of just things that were hanging around. It is not the best guitar by any means whatsoever. So it's a Polonia body, some old Squire neck, Wilkinson neck pickup, and God knows what in the bridge. The neck doesn't sound too bad, he says. Switches around the wrong way, obviously. However, the issue here is things like the bridge pickup is low powered and immensely bright. It's a Chinese eBay thing, none of the hardware matches, none of it was supposed to. Pluses are, it's immensely light being Polonia. Negatives are, it dents incredibly easily because it's Polonia, and it's shocking to work with. It fluffs up like nobody's business when you put it in a sander. It looks pretty. Maybe I will come back to this and do something a little more interesting with the pickups and get it all to match. But from parts, it's a guitar. Obviously, the highlight of this year is not my phone making that noise, was making the Rastercaster. If you followed me on that, you can see that here. Rides, I think, on 4. Enormous fun, having to work to somebody else's wants and needs, having to work to a really strict and quite short timetable. Probably I've made the best neck of my life on that thing, and I was very sad to see it go. However, Pete Rankin is on tour next year. It has been delayed again until October, I think, September, October. So I'll try and leave a link underneath with Steve Mason, C-Swing and him playing Black Affair, I think. Well, King Biscuit time, certainly, but which album I'm not entirely certain. Of course it could all change before then. I'll be at the Guildford gig. What else? A whole bunch of other fun guitars and bits of whatnot have all been finished and half finished. There's a mini body walnut single pickup guitar made out of Craig's leftover parts from one of his builds. Hello Craig, he came over to visit, I think February, March. Got home just before lockdown, which was astonishing timing. The amusing thing there was that he went from England, which was quite alright at the time, to New York, which was probably the global capital of the spread of the disease then. Nice move before he went back home to just outside Portland. Next on the thing was I needed a not a detox from Pete's Rastercaster, but I wanted to make something a bit more Gavin. So I built this, which is the Doomcaster. It was a purchase neck, and we think we worked it out as Alder, a 3-part Alder body, which if you watch all the videos, or if you don't, gave it a nice neck curve there, skinnied the body down, gave it my famous leg cut, which is for famously fat blokes sitting on the sofa playing the guitar, and it's detuned to A, I think. So. B. Excuse me. But incredibly loud pickups. Thank you, Stephen, for a nice swap for those. So there's zombie dust pickups, but what it's really designed for, let's hope this isn't too loud, is enormous fun. It's played to be played loud, to be played low. It's a bit of a mind twist having to deal with your brain detuning when you're expecting a nice E chord to come out and then this. What's that? Superb fun. I love experimenting with the cuts. We took that down as well, which is nice. The cut there is extremely comfortable, but bizarrely, and I'm not really sure why, having a cut on the back of that heel there makes the whole thing a lot more comfortable. It means your hand can move down. So still experimenting with the ergonomics of it all. Amusingly, and this is obviously just for this video, after I'd finished making that, I'm still going through, pardon me, after I'd finished making that, I was still going through my collection of grotty guitars that are hidden all over this house, and others. I found this, which must have subconsciously helped my design, which is an Epiphone G400 Extreme. And I hope you're looking at it saying, crikey, an SG with a Floyd on it. Good luck with that neck joint. Well, I suspect they thought that when they made it too, and they got round that by making it a bolt-on. Now, normally I'd be bolt-on with an SG, but that's not right. I can't imagine a Floyd working on a glue-in neck SG at all, because it would just pull the neck off. However, look, it fits. What a delightful guitar. It's going to turn up in the Gavin's Grotty guitars in the future. I purchased it for a lot less than the going price they are now, but that's what happens when you stick them in the back of a cupboard for years. Some things are going to go up in price, some things are going to go down. Well, that's about it for looking back at the year. I hope you've all... Oh, my cape's gone. I hope you've all managed to survive. As we speak today, the UK, particularly where I live, is in Tier 4, which, thank you Boris, Tier 4 out of 3. The end is in sight. People are getting vaccines. If you don't know what an RNA vaccine is, look it up. It's an amazing breakthrough in medical technology. Hopefully, this time next year, we will be able to move around. Guitar shows may come back on. Visitors can get back to my workshop. I may be able to leave the house and then buy even more grotty guitars, and more importantly, build some more. The builds already in my mind for next year are improving upon my white Strats that you've seen. I have some hot noiseless Fender pickups, which I intend to put in with a 10-way switch into a body I've partially made already. Going to make the neck from scratch because it's so much fun and so much better. Whether I put a tremolo on that or not, I'm not sure. If I am, it's going to be a Wilkinson double-bladed thing, I think. On top of that, I want to try and look at also Les Pauls. I have some issues with Les Pauls, their weight and their shape. But I want to try and do my version of it. Now, will that mean a lot of cutaways? Could do. Certainly a smoothing of the body. Would it actually mean weight relief? Actually, that's not a bad idea. They are jolly heavy. Would it mean a wider neck? Would it mean a 25.5-inch scale instead of a 24? Will it mean a Kayla tremolo? Apart from that, this year I've rewired the workshop's lighting. My garden has actual lighting that works instead of solar power, which seems to decide to stop every year when it gets cold and wet. My car is on the way out, so new car next year. I also have, if you've watched previous videos, a cat cam. I thought I was saving little cats. Well, a little cat that I saw that was scrawny and undernourished, and I was feeling sad. I was thinking, well, I better feed that poor cat and give it a home. And all that the cat cam picked up was the most enormous, overfed, home counties spoilt lard lumps that I've ever seen. Well, that was fun. If you've got any thoughts about projects that I should try and do this year, or next year rather, 2021, let me know below. Anything you'd like to see more of, whether it's more work in the workshop, making jigs, cutting out guitars, planning, tell me which aspects you'd like to know more about and see more of, and I'll do that. Until then, every Friday is Gavin's Grotty Guitars at 5. And in between then is whatever I'm getting up to. So hopefully more of that mini walnut guitar. Until then, happy Christmas and have a great new year. Toodle Pip, and here's Lebanese.